I put a decent amount in Coinbase early.
I'm gonna put
at
an entire
IPO,
picture.
so it dipped at first, obviously.
Yeah. Good for you.
But I've just been letting it sit there. I don't even know where it's at or what it's doing.
Oh, it's up 30% daily each day for the last couple of days.
Nice. I'm a fan. Yeah, I figured that would be a big IPO. I'm still waiting for, when we were talking about this, if ever they do SpaceX, man, that is hot ticket.
Yeah.
Can you buy, or do you know any way that you can buy some private equity?
I don't know. I'm sure it's not available.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are investors that can do it. It's possible.
But you have to be what they call, if they have offerings, you have to be an accredited investor, which has
when they're doing their series releases.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not that it's hard to get that, but you have to prove that you are for serious investors.
Listen, I will throw my $100 into the pot and we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Rachel, how do you say your last name? There's no way to get that right.
Oh yeah, Hadithas. It rhymes with pizzas.
Hadithas. All right, cool.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yeah, you said it right.
Where is everybody? 3 on? Jeez. Where's should have to
remember, they don't get notifications all the time too.
Oh yeah, that's right. Usually everybody jumps on like 30 minutes in.
I'm gonna turn down my lighting a bit. Bright as a mofo.
Oh, I totally just cut it off. Look at that.
Oh man.
Oh, almost there. There you go. Oh man. Time's up. All right, everybody. Welcome. Let me get this out of here. Boom. All right. Welcome back to the REALMigos. I got my main man, Mr. Blazarian fan, Kevin Knight. How's it going?
What's up,
man?
Jeremy? How you doing today?
Good, man. Ian of Austin, welcome back, sir.
Hey, thank you.
And our special guest of the night, who is somebody I'm excited to have on here, Rachel, rhymes with pizza, Haditza.
Yes,
Welcome.
Hadithas.
I almost got it right the third time.
Oh yeah.
Welcome.
Oh, you're all good. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm really excited to just talk about real estate.
Awesome. Yeah. So, the two hottest markets, it seems like, or two markets that people, when they're calling me, is Nashville, parts of Tennessee, and Austin, right? That's where everybody seems to be looking. So we wanted to bring a professional, somebody with a lot of knowledge, and you were top of the list. So welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, we are just seeing a ton of people moving to the Nashville area or just to Tennessee in general. Some people are just drawn to Tennessee, but they don't know where to live. I get a lot of folks like that calling me, just want to know, like, where should I live? And but Nashville in particular is just seeing an enormous amount of job growth. I live within the metropolitan area of Nashville, but not in the city of Nashville. I'm in Murfreesboro. So it's a relatively large city for Tennessee, 160,000 people, university town. It's kind of like the suburbs, but a lot of people do live here and commute to Nashville. But then, so a lot of the cities around Nashville are also seeing a huge amount of growth.
Now you have a pretty sweet YouTube channel out there. So I got it up here. You've got some pretty great titles. Looking through this, my favorite titles: "What if they hide it? I hate it." Buying unseen and immersed. I feel like we all do that right now, right? We have a lot of people that are moving to Austin and I'm sure Nashville that are buying sight unseen. That's I'm gonna have to go back and watch that video. I'm sure there's some good nuggets in there. Oh man, I think that was the last one that I edited myself, and then I started like outsourcing it. So don't, be nice. But you know what? My people ended up loving it because they already knew the area. They had been here before. So at that point, we were just looking at the house. And so, I've just kind of
developed an expertise in virtual showings, looking for certain things that people would look for on their own if they were looking at the house in person. And whether it's on FaceTime or Zoom, I've sold houses that way and people are still happy with it. So it's possible.
Awesome. Well, so here's the deal. Like I was saying earlier, I get a ton of calls and people are telling me, here's where I'm looking to move. I work for X tech company. I'm looking at Austin. I'm looking at Dallas. I'm looking at, I don't know why people would even mention Houston, but Houston and then Nashville. So for the crowd of people that watch our channel that are questioning where to live, why would anybody in their right mind choose Nashville over Austin?
I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, I think at that point I think they're both great cities. So honestly, I think a lot of it boils down to personal preference. Nashville it's just so many different things. We're quickly becoming, like you said, people with tech jobs. We're becoming, have a lot of tech jobs. We have Oracle moving in. We have Facebook is building a headquarters. Amazon just built a huge tech headquarters. So a lot of people are moving here for that. And sorry, I forgot my train of thought. I forgot what else I was going to say.
No, it's cool. I mean, there are a lot of, so are there a lot of tech companies moving to Nashville? Is that your draw, or is it just because it's
the draw.
Is it a hippie town like Austin? I've been there one time to the airport and saw it through the window.
Yeah.
That was it.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Not really so much a hippie town, but it's more than just country music. We just have all sorts of people, just down home. I don't know. But then Nashville is quickly becoming kind of a party scene, especially with a lot of the mask mandates. And I think Tennessee was one of the first to remove a lot of those, and the bars were opening up quicker. So a lot of people have been drawn to Tennessee for that. And specifically Nashville, if they're like young and like to party, especially with having a lot of jobs in the area and good schools. That's a draw for young people. And also retirees. Oddly enough, I've been calling Tennessee the new Florida, but it hasn't quite caught on yet.
Okay.
But Tennessee has recently done away with retirement taxes on 401k and mutual funds.
Wow.
Just in, I think as of 2021, at the start of this year, they kind of slowly phased it out over the last 5 years. So I am seeing people that want to retire here. Like, yes, Florida's great, but Tennessee, you have all 4 seasons. You have relatively low property taxes. They're pretty reasonable. And that is actually one of the things that if people call me and are considering Texas, one of the things that they're looking at is the property taxes.
So those are some good questions. And gentlemen, please jump in and interrogate this young lady. But
I will.
Yeah, right. We're letting her get through.
Prices and property taxes. What's your median average? What are you seeing most people buying? And then what are the property taxes? Because I feel like in Austin, $500,000. Well, our median price is $5. I think it's higher than what they're forecasting right now. But let's say it's $540. So $540 property taxes on that are going to be like $13,000 a year. So what are you seeing for prices and property taxes?
Here in Murfreesboro, we're pretty good on property taxes. People that are moving from California, they're like, oh my gosh, your property taxes are like half what I'm paying in California right now. So
Hold on. Sorry. Is that half based on what the house price is, or half if they're buying a new house here at the same price, then it's half of what they would pay? Because compared to Texas, California's property taxes are pretty reasonable. I mean, there's an argument there. There's more to it than just property taxes, but
I mean, I've seen like $1 a square foot, like as far as property taxes. Like on mine, I have like a little townhome here behind me. I pay about $1,200 a year. So
what?
Wow. Okay, that's it. We're all moving. I'm gonna be in Nashville.
I literally just texted my wife. We're moving. I'm literally texting my wife. We're moving to Nashville.
Yes. So Nashville itself, it's going to be a little bit higher. I would say probably closer to little bit over that.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not going to be
2000.
nearly as high. But of course, if you're like in a bigger house, it's going to be more county versus city and county jurisdiction. So you have to kind of look at all of that. But I think every state calculates their property taxes differently. So, and I have a video about that on my channel. So it's important to kind of understand how is that state calculating the property taxes, because it's usually not something that you need to worry about too much.
Do you have a lot of mud tax out there?
Well, they
What
probably
is
call it
that?
something
I'm not
different, but
Okay, what?
Yeah.
Public utility districts.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like I don't know, we call them here public infrastructure, public utility districts, municipal utility districts. So basically, you pay a higher tax rate to be in the areas that are not developed by the city.
No, I don't think I've heard of anything like that here. If there are utility taxes, it's probably built into either the city or the county taxes. I know people in the city, of course, we have like street lights, so you're going to see a little bit more taxes in the city versus just the county. But no, I haven't seen anything like that. I guess people in Tennessee, we don't like our taxes. We try to vote out those politicians.
Nice. Well, can you move some of those people here so we can move out the politicians raising the taxes in Austin? That'd be great.
Oh yeah.
How about things like HOAs? I mean, since we're talking about it, taxes.
Yeah, so that's a good one, because the majority of Tennessee doesn't have HOAs, but the closer you get to the cities, you see more of that. Like you're in Murfreesboro, I'm the suburbs, so there's HOAs everywhere. But they're not like people coming from maybe California. I'll use them as another example. They're like, these HOAs are so annoying, da da da. And I'm like, I never really hear from my HOA. It's really just, I mean, the standard stuff. Somebody's dog pooped in my yard, but there's nothing crazy. Like nobody's getting in trouble for putting a flag out. At least not in my neighborhood. But
My
some of the
neighborhood
crazy
in Austin, you can't put anything out. It's pretty annoying. Yeah, not gonna lie.
And some neighborhoods are going to be like that. It depends on what part of Nashville you're moving to. Like the Franklin and Brentwood areas, Williamson County, they're going to have higher property taxes. Of course, there just depends on the county, but they're also going to. What was I going to? I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
So the outside, you were saying the outside areas have a higher tax. What about Master Jedi wants to know about income tax? I don't know what that is, but
you forgot
income tax. Yeah, we are an income tax-free state. So, and I know Texas, Florida.
Well, so how does the state make money then? Is it just off of local musicians strumming a guitar? Like, how does this happen?
We do have a high sales tax compared to most states. I guess 9.75 is pretty standard for our sales tax. I mean, that's a good question. I mean, we have, gas taxes, but then our gas is not really that high. I think I'm paying around $3 a gallon right now. Not sure what it is in Texas.
It's about. I don't buy gas anymore because I bought a Tesla.
Same.
I'm one of those nerds. Right. Ian and I are complete nerds. Kevin still drives a big truck. He's doing diesel though, so it's a little bit cheaper.
Yeah. No, I'm not doing diesel anymore. That was my old truck. Yeah, but it was a little bit more fuel efficient. Yes, you're not wrong.
Yeah. So what about pricing though? So if I want to buy the standard stamp house, 3-bedroom, 2,000 square feet with an office, like what does that look like in most of the area?
In Nashville, you're looking at paying over 500, probably in the mid 500s. And it depends on your area. If you want to go to Franklin, that's kind of the designer zip code outside of Nashville, you're going to be paying over 800,000 for something like that. Mount Juliet is kind of on the east side of Nashville. It draws a lot of people. You're looking at about just under 500. Here in Murfreesboro, in my area, it's just under 400. So we are seen as kind of like, oh, maybe I can get a little bit more for my money if I'm looking in Murfreesboro, but then it's still close enough to commute to Nashville.
What's the commute like?
45 minutes, an hour, probably in rush hour.
So that is that typical? Most people that Most people that live downtown, they'll commute 30 to 45 minutes. Is that common?
I mean, so if you're from Murfreesboro to downtown Nashville would be about 45 minutes without traffic, probably about an hour, a little bit above that in the rush hour, morning and evening traffic.
So I know I get this a lot. I think Jeremy and I have talked about this. Kevin, you tell me too. We get people that call and say, I want to be within 30 minutes of the city all the time.
Yes.
I want to be within 30 minutes of the city and pay $300,000. That's what they want.
Well, we can dream, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but if they're saving as much as they
yeah.
are on property taxes, they might actually be able to pull that off there.
Yeah. So north of Nashville, I would say more north to northwest of Nashville, you might be able to still find something like that. I did north of Nashville, Springfield. There's really, I don't think much there, but I did sell a house under 300 there over the summer. So there are still, and it had like 2 acres. So some people that maybe want a little bit more acreage, it really depends on the county that you move to, because some counties like Nashville, Davidson County, the cost of land is astronomical right now. But some of these more rural counties, you can get a lot more for the land or for the money.
I was just reading how they tax the real property tax is a high rate. It's 3.3. It looks like it's still around 3, but the residential property tax is based on the assessed value, which is 25% of the appraised value.
25% only?
Yeah. They cap it at 25% of the appraised value, and then commercial property is capped at 40% of the appraised value.
Interesting. Interesting.
It still is more than 50% of the entire government operating budget. Interesting.
So, yeah, that's really cool. What's the new build scene like?
Oh gosh, I used to love working new construction, but this year has just kind of changed a little bit of that. Jeremy, actually, I started watching your channel because you started talking about something that was happening in Austin where the new construction builders were making people put bids on lots, waiting lists for lots and things like that. And that was maybe a month or 2, and it started happening in our area. So that was just one example. I feel like some of the things that are happening in Austin now are probably going to be happening in my area probably a few months from now. But I have been seeing, builders make, just waiting until it's time to put it up on the multiple listing service, let people put bids on it. The most affordable communities, unfortunately, have such a long wait list. Like, you just have to be ready and be willing to wait.
Now, were you seeing, so what we saw in Austin too in the resale market though was, it got to a point where people were writing 150 grand over list price, 125 grand over list price. Is that what your market saw in the height of the market, or what did that look like?
I did see that in the Franklin Brentwood areas, which again, I said those are kind of our designer zip codes. Here in Murfreesboro, I didn't see anything too much over like 50,000. So I think it was a little bit area specific, a little bit tied to the price point. But yeah, it was a challenging summer for a lot of buyers, but I am seeing a little bit of it cooling off. So right now I feel like it's a great time for buyers to come in. And if you're still motivated and acting fast, you can get into a home and not have as many buyers to compete with.
Okay. I don't know what Master Jedi is referring to here. Any comments for the record on the Memphis Mafia? I think he said something earlier about Nashville Mafia, but I don't remember.
Oh, I'm not sure. I've visited Memphis. I've never lived in West Tennessee. And I did live in East Tennessee for college. So I know a little bit about that as well, but Middle and East Tennessee, those are my areas.
When you say Memphis and you say Mafia, I just think 3-6 Mafia. So that's the only thing that comes to my mind.
They're from Tennessee.
That's right. I lived in Illinois when I was younger through college. And my brother lived in Nashville, West Nashville. He actually married a woman that lived Western Waverly, Tennessee. But when I would come down, coming from a country town of 1,000 people, every time I got to Nashville, my eyes would get wide open and just soaked up the whole city. I love that place. I thought one day I'd be like, oh, I'm going to move there. I'm going to move there. It's a cool place. I can't deny. I mean, especially now that I see it's the second, they said it's the second lowest state per capita tax paid. So that's crazy to me that they can be there and still maintain a really good quality of life without, I mean, it just goes to show you that they're good stewards of the money that they do have. This chick is, she knows 360. Don't get it twisted.
So there's two great questions up here. One is, Austin is getting more higher paid jobs, so we're getting a lot of tech people.
That's good.
Is Nashville bringing in, people? Is their overall income going up with the people coming in?
Honestly, I haven't looked at statistics on that, so I don't really want to speak on it, but I would guess yes, just based on a lot of people that I work with personally, they're moving here to work remotely because they can make their, California income or New York income, work remotely in Tennessee, live where they want. And and unfortunately, I have seen with the high cost of housing, not a lot of, job, what people are making is not really going up at the same cost of housing. So there is kind of a crisis with that, with some of these, low income earners in the Nashville area. They're just forced to move further and further out to find affordable housing. Mm-hmm. But
I like Viviana's and Mark's question.
We'll get to Viviana. She's awesome. Viviana, hello, welcome back. Who I haven't seen in a while is Big Mama. Where's she at? Bring her back. Get this Master Jedi guy out of here. Bring back Big Mama.
Yeah.
Calling me, what did he call me earlier? Fresno face or something like that. Fresno voice. I'm from Visalia, son, south of Fresno. What about the weather? Is it pretty extreme compared to Austin? I mean, Austin, we don't really see tornadoes, but we do get really massive storms that come through and pound Austin pretty hard. Oh no,
that's not
Master Jedi is going to make a joke. But does the weather get pretty extreme in Nashville?
It really can. I mean, everybody's probably heard of the 2010 flood in Nashville. That was a really extreme weather pattern that just kind of sat on Nashville for 3 days, as far as I know. And Nashville was pretty much underwater. That was a very, very rare occurrence. So yeah, we can have some extreme weather. Most typically, we're one of the rainiest states. So we get a lot of these flash floods, especially summertime in the afternoon. And of course, everybody's favorite, tornadoes. We do get tornadoes, especially certain parts of Tennessee, like west and middle are probably a little bit more, but just really severe thunderstorms. You just
what about
have to be aware of
sharknadoes?
that.
Sharknadoes.
Mm-hmm.
Never seen one personally, only on the movies.
That's too bad.
Is there alligators there?
Not in Tennessee. We do have coyotes, mountain lions, bears. So,
those aren't bears I'm not really a fan of, but coyotes I'm not really worried about.
You have to watch your dog, in the backyard. Don't leave him out. I did have one of my neighbor's dogs was attacked by coyotes and he was chained up and unfortunately couldn't get away. But you do want to be aware of that something might get your baby, your fur baby.
So why would somebody choose Nashville over Austin? I mean, number one, they wouldn't. But if
they theoretically,
what would be the reasons why they would choose Nashville second to Austin? Is I think what Viviana was asking, right, Viviana?
Do you ever have anybody do the T-chart thing and say, well, I was thinking of Austin or Nashville, but the reason why I chose, that'd be a good way.
We like to have fun on this, so don't take it personal. We're having fun on this channel.
Man, and honestly,
except for this guy. We're not.
I'm low key gangster. I just don't say it too much because we got to maintain our professional image, right?
No,
but get it out. Really, no. Get it out.
Be real with the people. The people demand it.
Yeah.
Nashville, like I said, is becoming a party scene. But because I've never been to Austin, I've always wanted to visit, and I'm not going to say that it's not better than Nashville because I might, if I visit, think that it is better than Nashville. So, but I think Nashville's great. Like the people are friendly. You know, there's plenty of places to go and get local brews, local distillery, fun, you know, Western wear if you want to get some cowboy boots and just be part of the culture. Community, I mean, the housing market is, it's not as bad as in some places. So that might be why they would choose us over another place. But everyone really has their own reason. A lot of it, sometimes it can be politics, or sometimes it can be a job transfer, or wanting to move closer to family. So it's just really, I see it all over the board.
Yeah, not to dive too much in the politics, but I mean, a lot of people that think that Texas is turning a certain color, I can tell you a lot of people reach out to me. I feel they are not coming here to change colors of Texas. But y'all got a Disneyland coming over there? Because that's a good question. Because apparently
no, but we do have Dollywood. We have Dollywood in East Tennessee. You know, Dolly Parton.
How big? Dolly. Well, see, is Dollywood going to be 7,900 acres in Jarrell?
No,
quote unquote.
Well, it's already
possibly
there. Yeah, no, we don't have anything like Disneyland. We used to have Opryland, and then they tore it down and built a big one.
Oh, I remember Opryland. I went there when I was a kid.
You went there too?
Yes.
Oh man, I did too. It was so awesome.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. It wasn't quite as.
Oh, you know what? I did hear in coming years, maybe 2 years down the line, I think Nashville is building a theme park on like children's storybook, maybe something related to that. It's going to be different. So, but I think it'll be fun.
Is there a Ian of Nashville in Nashville?
He wants me to shave and take my hat off. No.
There can only be one, right?
There can only be one.
Wow.
Oh my God.
You can't even buy CBD in Texas, by the way.
In Texas?
Really?
No, in Tennessee. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was like,
no,
wait,
you
what?
can.
It says here you can't even buy CBD. It says it has to be bought elsewhere.
No,
but it's not legal if you have it.
No, you can buy it. Get it up the store all the time. But you can't. So actually, there was something interesting in Murfreesboro back maybe 4 years ago, where CBD is legalized by I think the 2018 Farm Bill. But yet they thought that CBD had like the active component in marijuana. And so they went and busted all the smoke shops that had CBD. And then it turned out, wait, that's legal. And I'm just like, man, us small business owners, like, damn cops.
Narcs. Viviana, going back to Viviana's other question. Basically, so here's what we've come up with so far, Viviana. There's no state income tax in Tennessee. The property tax is higher. It's like 3%, yet it caps off at 25% of the estimated value of the home. Oh, that's actually not a bad question to ask. So every year in Austin, so let's say you buy a house, it's $500,000, right? Next year, let's say the valuation of that property goes up to $525,000. Well, every single year, Austin then goes or Texas, wherever you are, then goes and says, "Oh, your house is now worth $525,000, so we're going to raise your taxes because of that." How do they do the taxes in Nashville? Is it just set when you buy it? How does that work?
I mean, like you said, it's based on the assessed value. I've never seen anyone come in and say, we're just going to change your property taxes because your house just got so much nicer. Nothing like that. It's sometimes they do change the rate. Like Nashville just had a huge property tax increase because we get actually get a lot of dollars from tourism. I apologize, I didn't mention that earlier. But during all the stay-at-home orders, we lost a lot of dollars from tourism. And so, unfortunately, Nashville did end up increasing its property taxes. But I still think it's still affordable for, comparably. So.
I think Austin finally realized that, hey, by the way, we should probably start inviting people back to Austin because we were down like $50 million in tax revenue just by, I think it was just the loss of South by Southwest. we were already down like 50 million in tax revenue. So something to that effect. Don't quote me on that. It was high, but I mean, 2 years not having South by, was it 2 years not having ACL? And then F1 was gone. Did you guys hear the stat on F1 over the weekend?
Record crowd,
spit it
right?
out.
Record crowds in 2019. Was the highest amount of people. It came as like 100 or 150,000 people around there. This last week, 400,000 people in Austin at Coda.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. That's good. I remember when they were talking about, oh, I might go bankrupt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now
2018, right?
This was their last year of the contract, so they have to renew the contract. But they're also already selling tickets for next year. So
love it.
Yeah, we're trying to get some. So if anybody on this channel knows or has connections to Bobby Epstein, the owner of Coda, tell him to come visit us and come on to REALMigos. We want to grill him very hard about the growth, what Coda is doing to give back to the city or to help with affordability issues, if they're going to give us tickets to next year's F1, all that fun stuff. So please incentivize Bobby Epstein to come join REALMigos because Ian and I are trying to get one of those cool suites on turn 13 so we could see Shaq Diesel next year. So Shaq, come back and we're going to be in turn 13. So anybody else, let's go.
I couldn't even get tickets. I tried to go on Sunday. It's not that I couldn't, but I was like, I usually for the races, I can wake up on the day and be like, okay, I'm just going to go today. The cheapest GA ticket I could get was like $300. And that was standing in the grass at the Coda. I was like, what is going on here?
Man, you know how tall you are. You could just sit down and you'll be fine, right? Just bring a chair.
I know, but I wasn't willing to spend $300 is my point. Because in years past, I could just go over there and do it. But I'm happy for it because I think it's awesome. I actually read this thing that said that they're building a 1,100 acre development over there next to the track.
Yeah.
Nice. Is that what Vidania was talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, it's a different actually. The condos are not they're not going to be okay. The condo project is not livable condos. They're like man cave condos, so you can keep your race car out there and sit on the corner and have like a booth that you watch the events in, and then you can go drive your car. But there's a separate like 1,100 acre development that's happening over there that's going to be retail and everything else. And then they're going to build a theme park over there too. Not Disney, just a small theme park. Yeah. Coda Land or something like that, I think is what they're going to call it. And I'm not joking. That's legitimately what they're going to call it.
Coda Land.
Coda Land.
So in Texas, we're a non-disclosure state. So you're not supposed to disclose what you sold your house for. So recently Redfin dropped off the ability to sell, to show closed data. And I had all these clients like, hey, Redfin stopped. And I would go to these appointments. People are like, well, I saw this comp around the corner closed for $425. I'm like, well, your house isn't listed at there's like no ways your house is going to sell for $425. Jeremy was right, of course. But everybody's like, hey, we no longer get this sold data anymore. Like, why aren't we getting? Can you set me on a search to give me sold data? I'm like, no, I'm not Redfin. Right. So Redfin stopped doing that. So my question is, in Tennessee, is it a disclosure state, non-disclosure state, and can you find closed comps on Redfin?
Yeah, 100% you can. I mean, yeah, that's
sorry.
Yeah, but
public data.
Yeah, but their tax rate, or they're only being taxed at 25% of the assessed value, so they don't really. I mean, they will care. Don't get me wrong, but still, it's not quite as much of an issue.
Right. Anyway, sorry to go back to that fun to cut off the Coda talk. Anyway, so is there anything fun like Circuit of the Americas in Nashville to do? I think that was Viviana's question a while ago. She was like, I want to go do something fun in Nashville. What's fun to do in Nashville?
So tell me what Circuit of the Americas is.
Ooh.
Remember that time the drunk girl came on and said, what's a SpaceX?
What is SpaceX?
Oh my God.
It's funny because I just texted her.
I need to see all these things.
I actually just texted her.
It's our racetrack.
Coda is called.
It's not just a racetrack. It's where MotoGP, Formula One, and now NASCAR are all racing. And it's the only approved Formula One track in the United States. In the United States, right now anyway. It's huge.
I think there's only 2 in North America. The other one's in Mexico City.
Mexico, yeah.
Yeah.
We do have some racetracks in Tennessee. Of course, we have the Nashville Super Speedway. We have the Bristol Motor Speedway over there in Tennessee. In Smyrna, here in Rutherford County, you can see like the air show. If anybody likes to see, like the flying angels come into town, we do have that. So there's all sorts of just little community events and state parks. So that's really a lot of what Tennessee is known for. Maybe not so many like large attractions.
The Titans, the NFL.
Yeah, the Tennessee Titans. Oh, and the Nashville Predators. You wouldn't think it, but we love hockey. That's why we call it.
You know what?
Nashville.
We have a pretty great team here too. The
Vanderbilt
Texas Stars. They're I like them.
Yeah.
Nice.
They will fight
University.
anybody. You get them on the ice and they will fight them. And they're good. Not just, scrappers, but they're also good. I go to a lot of hockey games. It's fun.
Ian, hockey games?
I do everything. I'm camping. It's funny, we were talking about the HOA thing, and I finally got a legal notice from my HOA telling me to move the camper out of the driveway. They had sent all these different things, and then they were like, "No, we're going to take legal action if you don't." I was like, "Seriously? It's a $25 a month fine. Really? And you're going to take legal action? It's been 3 months. What is the problem here?" Anyway, sorry, I digress. Gatlinburg, how far is that from you?
It's about 3 hours. That's like the perfect weekend getaway for somebody that lives in Nashville. Go and rent a cabin or a chalet in Gatlinburg. Love it.
Yeah, we did Gatlinburg, Memphis, Nashville, and it's a cool little city if you want to kind of stay away from people.
Yeah, most definitely.
Pretty
Somebody was
kitschy.
asking about Bonnaroo. That's in Manchester, which is like 30 minutes south of me, probably about an hour from Nashville. Oh man, they had to cancel it this year because of rain. It was just, it just the farmland got too flooded.
Yeah,
they always have Bonnaroo on this huge 500-acre farm in Manchester.
It makes the rafting better.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think they'd want to see all those hippies rolling around in the mud, but it's just a little too much for them this year, I guess.
Ian, I kid you not, as soon as you asked that question, I was Googling that distance from Nashville to Pigeon Forge. I did that, and then you asked that question, like at the exact same time. It's very cool. I mean, it is pretty there. It's such a pretty state. I guess
it's gorgeous.
Bears. It's nice.
Whoa, they're gonna have NASCAR at Coda in March.
Yeah, that's new, man.
That was last. They did it this year too. I went.
Did they?
Yeah, and there's nobody there though because it was middle of mask mandates, so we had to lock it down. But we sat right.
Yeah. Hold on. You add NASCAR crowd and mask mandates, and nobody shows up. Tell me it is.
I'm not here to make any. I'm not here to make any generalizations.
I know.
But there weren't that many people there. We sat right on the start finish line, and not many people around us at all. It was fun.
Wasn't NASCAR for a long time the number one spectator sport? Like, is that still the thing?
I've heard that, but I haven't heard that in a long time. It was weird because for me, NASCAR is go fast, turn left.
Just left.
That's what it is for me. So, yeah.
And that makes it kind of strange to hop on this F1 track.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I don't know. Again, if people that follow NASCAR more than me would know that they've diversified their races a lot. They'll do short track races. In fact, the guy that won also raced the other two races. He raced like the non, I don't know what they call it. It's still a stock car, but less modified, I suppose. And then the truck races too. He raced all three of those races. So it was interesting to watch. And then you also have like 16-year-old kids riding in the truck races.
Yes.
It's crazy.
The coolest thing about NASCAR in my mind, and this is the last thing I say about it, I swear, knowing that a lot of the technology from those cars is what ends up in our daily drivers just 5-10 years later. So it's always cool to kind of see like what they're doing or hear about the things they're putting in there. It's pretty
I'm just nostalgic because I grew up during Dale Earnhardt era. So it was Sunday afternoons were Bears games, Dale Earnhardt, and naps, baby.
Very Illinois of you.
Very Illinois of me. Couldn't do anything else. Yeah. Those were the days. I'm aging myself, dating myself now. I don't know what the right word is.
You're dating yourself? Wow.
Dating
Congratulations.
like carbon dating.
Is that a
Yes, I'm dating myself, and I'm happy.
I'm trying to get tickets for NASCAR right now. I've never done NASCAR before.
Are you buying a 4-pack or I guess a 5-pack?
You wanna come with?
Yeah, all of us.
Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah.
Since I'm the only person that's been to both.
Whoa. Been to both what?
Nashville and Austin.
I've been to both. What are you talking about?
I'm sorry.
I've been everywhere.
Jeremy said he hasn't.
Well,
I was at the airport. I waved at Nashville from the airport.
And Rashael said she's not been to Austin. So.
Rashael.
I actually, same as you, I've been at the airport. I just visited, I was going to Dallas this past August and we got diverted for rain for whatever reason. I was so upset. But we sat on the tarmac for a couple hours and then we went into the airport for a couple hours. But the Austin airport has a lot of good places to like eat or, convenience stops and different things to eat. Whereas some places are just like, okay, you have Subway.
Yeah. It's easy right now too, like navigating the airport and everything. It's easy to fly in, fly out. It's pretty simple. Easy to loop around when you miss,
Yeah, definitely. So if you're going to be stuck, it's a great place to be stuck at, I guess.
Yeah.
I heard that, and maybe I'm just making this up. Like if Austin's like Lexus, then Nashville's like Toyota, right? If Austin is like The Rock, then Nashville's like Kevin Hart, right? They go so well together. Very similar to each other.
Very similar.
Very similar to each other.
Have one
Work well
the other.
together. Can't have one.
And I'm a Toyota girl, so that would make sense.
No, I think they're very similar cities. They've got a similar vibe and feel and culture, I think, around it.
100%.
Nashville's a lot smaller.
Wait, I was going to say, which one's Kevin Hart? I think I never mind.
Yeah. Nashville's a lot smaller. It said 690, almost, I don't know if that data is accurate, but it said 700,000 population in Davidson County.
Oh, that's a good question. Right? What is the population now? And how many people are moving there a day? If you know that.
About 100 people move to the Nashville area a day. And I would say probably about 20 of those are from California. Yeah. Population of the Nashville metropolitan area is about 6 million. I think, 600,000. Sorry. 600,000. I added an extra zero. So Murfreesboro, 160,000. I think just within Nashville, it's probably closer to that. 600,000.
Mark asked like 5 times. He's like, how's the transit situation there? Like in Austin, our public transit, like it's not good yet.
Yeah, so they are kind of trying to push for like a public rail system in Nashville to ease up on some of the traffic. They ended up redoing Highway 440, which goes through Nashville. They did expand that. So that was, I think, something that they decided to do instead. But I think down the line, it is probably going to continue to be looked at. But yeah, right now we just have buses.
Which also sit in traffic.
Yeah, which also sit in traffic. Yeah.
Is traffic really that bad? Is traffic really that bad?
With 600,000 people.
I mean, within Nashville, and then especially if you're on the interstate in certain traffic patterns, like between Murfreesboro and Nashville, there's a lot of people that commute. So the traffic can get kind of gridlocked sometimes. But generally, people that come from like a larger area and come here, they're like, this isn't bad at all. But of course, the long-term Tennessee residents, they're like, oh, I don't like all this traffic. People like me.
This is kind of making me want to go to Gatlinburg for the holidays.
Oh, totally. 100%. And you can go anytime over in the Gatlinburg area. They even have I think it's like the Christmas hotel. It can be Christmas anytime.
Yeah, it's super kitschy over there for sure. They have like Ripley's and Dollywood and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, I think they've got like a Titanic museum, an Alcatraz. Like,
did you say a Titanic museum?
Yeah. Oh, the Titanic museum is on it. With
Nashville.
It's just because it's visitor. Like it's like like Wisconsin Dells or something like that. It's just like a place to have or like what's the place in Branson in Missouri? It's just like a bunch of things that you can do.
An
And when that
excuse
pops-
for people to go there and
it's-
spend
it's-
money.
Yes, and it's excuse,
Yeah.
and then they still just have one
I love
IGA
those places,
grocery
by the way.
store.
I'm just saying.
Right? It's like there's not that much going on. You're going there because you're going there. So
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, at
Yeah.
least, yeah. Wisconsin Dells had the water park thing. Like everything was themed, but they had all the water parks.
yeah, it's been a
That
while,
was the
man.
reason.
It's been a long time.
You're dating yourself again.
I just
know.
realized I'm part of this conversation, and I've just been enjoying sitting here listening to y'all go back and forth. This is great. Now I know what everybody else gets to see. This is fantastic. Hey, Kevin, show your mullet a little bit. Show some
Yeah.
skin.
You gotta I'm trying to show mine. That was good.
Just got out of the shower, so I just had it slicked back.
Speaking
Yeah,
of
something
mullets,
was hiding.
Is that a shark tooth necklace? What do you have there?
No, it's a Lego man.
Nah.
It's
Nice.
he's half skeleton too.
Nice. C3PO?
Oh.
He's gold.
No, it's just a gold guy, just half skeleton, just
Ooh.
chilling. Little Halloween thing.
who has
Mark.
better tacos?
That's right.
San Antonio.
That is right.
Austin.
I don't know what is kind of the food. I don't remember much
You have
of like
Yeah,
barbecue.
the
food scene.
Tennessee
barbecue, yes, but
different. It's
Memphis
not-
barbecue. Nashville has really become known for the hot chicken.
Oh
Yes,
yeah, hot
Fumble
like-
22.
yeah.
How can I
They
even
opened a few of those here. I love that stuff.
forget?
Patty B's and Prince's. They're like Nashville originals. You'll see like a line out the door across the block.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. And
Is it hot?
or-
Is it really hot?
not
Is
as
it just
hot
a
as
name?
Texas. I've got to say, it's not. Oh, the hot chicken.
Yeah,
sorry.
hot chicken.
The hot. Yeah, there's different levels. You go in and you say like what your level of hotness is, because it can get pretty fiery. Like I like it hot, but I want to be able to taste it. I don't like that hot where okay, my tongue is numb. But
Mhm.
you can have that if that's what you like.
Don't worry, Mark. I'm sorry to make you wait, but what we'll do for today is we're gonna have Rochelle. Sorry, Rochelle, yeah, on for about another 15 minutes, and then we'll talk about Austin stuff. We'll let her go off and enjoy Nashville. The spicy chicken and Mai Tais. What's the drink of choice? Is it just beer? Straight beer? Did you have distillery?
Beer,
and
whiskey,
distilleries.
Okay.
moonshine.
Oh, Jack Daniels
Like-
distilleries.
Moonshine, if you're talking about Gatlinburg,
Yeah.
that's all they do. Moonshine.
Yeah, in my neck of the woods, we have Short Mountain in Woodbury, Tennessee. I mean, it's like the quintessential like mountain town, even here in Middle Tennessee, but all parts of Tennessee. We also have a lot of wineries. Like, I guess we just like our alcohol, but
Don't we all? I mean, not me,
Yeah.
but Texas does.
Yeah, I've
We
had
love
people tell me
eating, we
they
love
found you at a
drinking.
bar, Kevin. So don't lie.
Yeah, right. Drinking water. Did he tell you that? That I was drinking water?
No, I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I ran into an agent today. I'm not going to say I didn't know who he was, but he knew me very well. And he was like, oh man, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I got to go to my next showing, man. It was great. Call me. Let's set up a meeting. But I had no idea.
You didn't
Like,
know who it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch you on the channel all the time. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, man. Good seeing you too.
It's like it wasn't a Zoom call, bro.
Yeah. I was like, wow. Hey, did
He's
you
gonna
know
text
this
you
fun-
later? Like, really? You didn't know? You didn't know who I was?
Yeah, he's gonna watch this tonight and be like, "Oh my God, Jeremy," and be mad. I mean, it's okay. It happens. Did you know that you can deduct? So my wife was telling me this today. Sorry, I was way off topic. I'm thinking about Nashville now and going on a vacation in Nashville. Did you know that you can deduct one trip per year as a real estate agent for planning?
Oh,
So you
there
can do like
go.
your business
Planning.
planning, go on vacation, and as a trip.
That's pretty good.
I did not
It's-
know that. That's really
it's-
awesome.
I've got lots of planning to do
Yeah.
too.
Oh, you know what?
I
I
just
should
bought
tell you
Costa
guys
Rica
this. This is there's a government mandate this year, or not a government mandate, but just kind of a thing that we're doing to try to attract people to Nashville. If you book a weekend stay at a Nashville hotel, you get like free airline tickets. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but I would just like Google it.
Link.
So
Below,
that's
please.
what some of our tax dollars are being spent on. Yeah, Dave Ramsey actually
No, we're
just
not
sold
supposed to
his
say that name on
house.
this channel.
Sorry.
We're not. Are we not? I don't know.
I don't think realtors are supposed to say anything about him right now.
Oh, we're
Why?
not? Okay.
Is he
Well, he just
canceled?
sold his
Did
house.
realtors
in
cancel him?
Franklin.
Yeah, he's
Realtor canceled. Jeez.
What happened? I need to know this now.
Oh my God.
Shameless plug. Find the
yeah.
hotel that is giving free airfare in Nashville, and then get some whiskey
Yes.
while you're there.
Yeah, and then we'll all show up at Dave Ramsey's house.
And then afterwards, you can fly to
I
Fast
just
Drop
saw that.
and go through the thing. Oh, what happened?
We do not need. We do not need to discuss that.
Oh
No.
God. Okay.
That needs to be a conversation, like just a REALMigos chat one day.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my God. I'm gonna have to
Probably, I think that would open up a can of worms, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
but real estate wise, he made a lot of money in real estate. I actually
exactly everybody,
Mhm.
not everybody, but a lot of people who are in certain situations have made a lot of money in real estate, and that's
yeah.
He's
I mean,
one of them.
he's now expanded his empire to try to help people get out of baby step number 2, which they never do. So,
Rachel, ask us something since you haven't been to Austin.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. If I would only had a week to spend in Austin, what are like the best things to do?
Check out Ian's new house.
Yeah. If you only had a week. Let's see.
I look at houses all the time.
What do you like to do now? Like other than I'm not saying you Netflix, but like Netflix and spend time with your puppy. Like, what do you like to do?
I mean, yeah, of course there's that. I like the cultural attractions. Like if there's something like a cool art museum,
Tons of those.
or I like festivals, like
Tons of
street
those.
festivals, things like that. Yeah, because I got a
Beer and the wine
4-year-old.
and the distilleries.
Yeah,
Tons of those.
my drinking days are mostly over. I sometimes do a little bit of day drinking,
Tons of that.
if I can. But yeah, it's just those days are behind me. I'm living the mom life. So I
Tons
like
of those.
generally family friendly.
No, but seriously, everything you're saying, it really aligns with what's going on here. And I think that's why there's such similar vibes.
Yes.
They really are. It's like a music-driven city with a lot of tech jobs relocating from certain states. Everyone's concerned about the property taxes, and there's a lot around to do. Whether you like, rafting, mountain biking, kayaking, hanging out with your friends, playing board games. I don't know if that's a thing that you do there, but
I don't know that I would. I mean, it depends on, like what type of activities you like. I'm also struggling a little bit with this recommendation too for people. Like, I'm trying to think what I would do in this situation. And I don't know that I would do the traditional, like go to these specific Texas or Austin places. I like exploring the neighborhoods and seeing the restaurants. There's tons of restaurants here, and really cool, unique ones, unique experiences. So I think that's part of it. And of course, visiting hill country while you're here would be very good idea.
Yeah.
Hill country. All right. Definitely keep that in mind.
Here's my top list. Y'all are boring as hell.
Yeah.
All right. So
I did not boring.
No, you guys are boring as hell. So let's give Raquel what's really Rachel, Raquel. We're just going to call you every name in the book other than your real name. So here's the deal. You come in, you go, first of all, you got to come during South by and go to South by Southwest. That's phenomenal.
Yes.
Or ACL or go to CODA, whatever they have at CODA that week. That's always super fun. But you go rent a boat, hang out at Lake Austin. So much fun. Go wake skiing, all that fun stuff, whatever people do on the lake. That's fun. You go to the Oasis. The food, drinks sucks.
Yeah,
it was terrible. But the views at sunset is fantastic. We have a ton of distilleries out in the hill country. So you're going to put on those boots that you were talking about, that hat you were talking about, and you're going to go out and you're going to sip sweet cocktails. Go over to my good friends over at Treaty Oak. You go get the caught red-handed bourbon, because they got caught red-handed because they were actually taking bourbon and slapping their label on it. So they got caught red-handed. Love that one. There's so much fun. And then breweries, distilleries, so much fun stuff. Look, then go downtown, right? You go see the bats. Don't get bit. You don't want to get hepatitis, whatever happens when you get bit by a bat. Be careful there. All right. I'm giving you everybody the quick tips here. So then you're going to go down. There's so many museums downtown Austin that you can go to. And then there you go. You're pretty much tired by then, right?
No, she's got to go just walk Dirty Sixth, at some point.
Yeah, you be careful on Dirty Six.
Just walk it, I said.
She says those days are behind her.
I didn't say she had
It
to
is,
drink. I
it's
said
good
just
people
walk
watching
it.
though. Good people watching.
Maybe
And
take
then-
an Uber through there and just look.
And
It's
then
like
when
it's like Broadway.
No, they don't.
basically.
You don't drive through there. They actually block off the
Oh,
streets,
okay.
and people walk around half, whatever.
Okay. Do you have
Yeah,
like a
oh,
little
Insert
there you
any
go.
word after that.
there's a lot of like good hiking trails, water. You go to Barton
Tons.
Springs, Zilker,
Yep.
go to the park there.
Yep.
They used to have that train, but the city screwed the pooch on that one. So I don't even know if it's running anymore. That would have been a heck of fun. Geez, there's so many fun things to do in Austin.
Is
man.
Mayfield Park still around? The Peacock Park, I don't know
Oh,
if
there's a
that closed.
botanical park.
Botanical Gardens.
Yeah,
There's,
botanical gardens.
Mount
You go
Bonnell,
climb to the top of Mount
Mozart.
Bonnell and look at all the amazing views. Go to the Pennybacker Bridge.
Oh yeah.
Look,
Yeah,
So
soccer
that's
game.
behind you, Jeremy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Pennybacker Bridge. I look at
Nice.
it every day. I'm just so used to it.
Soccer game. Austin FC soccer.
Yeah, Austin FC
That's
soccer
new,
game.
by the way.
That's new. We're gonna have the
We still
Buffalo
have your
Bills.
hockey.
The Buffalo Bills are gonna be the Austin Bills pretty soon, and then we're gonna have Disney land here. So maybe, possibly, I don't know.
I'll bet they're
Joe?
gonna call it Disney Ranch,
Disney Ranch.
Ooh.
Disney
actually
Hills,
pretty good.
Disney Hills, or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And whose music is better? I mean, obviously Austin, but go ahead, give us why
Man,
Nashville's music is better.
tough. What about like, Elvis, Johnny Cash, obviously 3-6 Mafia. Who else is from Tennessee? I mean, you got a lot of country music around here, but we're more than that. It's like, like Memphis is the home of the blues. East Tennessee has got a really good kind of like Americana kind of scene going on there. And I don't know, it's just it's really personal, down to personal opinion at that point, but we've still got good music. And
Is it where, so I know on the weekends, obviously there's live music everywhere, but is it like that during the week in the evening, 6 p.m.?
in Nashville, yes.
Yeah.
Probably other places, not so much, but yeah, totally in Nashville. They're partying every night. I know one thing we didn't even touch on with Tennessee that a lot of people kind of are really drawn to Tennessee for church. We have a lot of churches in Tennessee.
We
So
are the Bible Belt, I think.
We are in the Bible Belt. But not everybody's going to go to church. I don't personally go to church on Sundays, but I'm still a good person. But yeah, we do have a church on every corner.
Disclaimer.
Debatable, right?
Just bought a bunch of, no. That's good.
But yeah, there are some rural towns that I'm like, I think they have like a church for every 12 people.
A church for every 12 people?
That's I think they probably do. There's just one on every corner.
Yeah.
Do they have a lot of those rattlesnake churches where you like get to hold rattlesnakes?
Was that one even interesting?
I've heard there are some, but again, this. Oh, I'm staying away from those
I thought
types.
that one was in Georgia or Alabama.
What are some
There might be one in
regrets?
Tennessee. What'd you say?
What are some regrets people have when they relocate there or move there?
Ooh. That should be your next video, the regrets.
Yeah, that's a great topic. You're totally right. Man, so far
She's
none
like,
of my clients.
there are no regrets.
So far, none of my clients have had regrets, or at least
You
none that
stop
they've told
it.
me.
You stop it,
But
Raphael.
But
You're welcome.
I will
by the
say,
way.
coming from somebody that lived in a small town growing up, sometimes small towns can come with small minds.
Ooh.
Sometimes. And so that's personally why I was drawn
Title
to
of your
moving
next
to a
video.
larger city. Having my dad is from another country. He's from Iran. He met his American fox here in Tennessee. But yeah, there's some areas you can experience some racism. I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Sure.
Sometimes people are just jerks.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the Sharknadoes.
And then there's the Sharknadoes.
But you said it's not as hot as Austin. Is it humid?
That's
It's very humid, but I don't think we get as humid as Texas. by comparison. Y'all are just a different degree. It was like running into a wall.
No, hold
like,
on. Are you talking about Houston or something? Because that is not the same.
It depends on when you come out.
Well, I was in Dallas. Isn't it pretty? I don't know.
Also
maybe
not the same.
That's Dallas.
completely different than Austin. Is it cooler there?
I mean, it's 3 hour difference.
There? Yeah.
That's like saying Gatlinburg is the same as Nashville.
Okay, yeah. So geographically, it sounds like they're different because East Tennessee is more mountains. So I would say it's probably cooler there.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dallas might get a little warmer. It's not that bad, but like if you compare like Austin to Houston, oh my gosh, like night and day. Kevin and I went down there for like 30 minutes to take stuff down to people during the hurricane, and we were there like 30 minutes in Houston and couldn't get out fast enough. We're trying to get back we're trying to unload cases of water and fans and bleach and all that stuff for everybody, and him and I were like just sweating like
it was
crazy.
hot.
It was hot and humid. I went down a few days later and demucked a bunch of houses, and I regretted wearing pants. It's like the worst to say. I'd rather just get cut legs next time. I'm not ever wearing pants in Houston again. If I was a realtor there, I would just like tell people, look, I wear shorts. That's it. Don't get over it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Crazy towns in Houston. Houston's comparable to DC, but Nashville is like Austin in terms of humidity. Okay. Just cooler.
Good
cooler
to know.
Nashville.
Yeah, good to know.
GT, thanks for joining in and dropping that knowledge, because we had no idea. None of us have really spent a considerable amount of time in either city. So we're biased on how we love our cities, right?
We just love Austin so much.
That's right. Raquel loves Austin.
I love.
we still have
I love both. I try to be a lover.
We have the flash hailstorms here.
That's true.
Ooh,
like there's stuff here where it's like, what? Wait, what?
Yeah.
What did you do? We had the 100 days over 100 heat wave.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
that is just like, I'm just gonna stay inside.
Yeah,
I feel really, really bad. I don't, but I feel bad for all the people that moved to Austin during the heat of this Austin's like heat, and thought, oh, this is how hot it is. Oh, this is not that bad. Next year, we are going to pay the sins next year of this year being like just wonderful summer, because our summer was not that bad. And we only had a few days over 100. It was like mid to high 90s for the most part. It sucked. It wasn't great. But next year it's going to be like 135, and it's going to be like, global warming's here finally.
Mm-hmm.
Here it comes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Next year's going to suck. All those people that moved here thought the traffic was great. They thought the traffic was great when they came out here. I kept telling people the traffic's going to be way worse than this. The traffic is not that nice. Like, this is great today because everybody's working from home, but next year is going to suck. Right now, driving 2:00 in the afternoon, Ian, we were talking on the phone. It was like bumper to bumper. Like, get out of here. I'm Mopac. Not 35, the 35, I-35. People are going to trash me.
I was at the Tesla factory yesterday trying to sneak some drone shots again. And
they shoot it down again?
No, they didn't shoot it down. I did see the security guard driving around. But my point is, there were so many people filling the parking lots. And those are people that have to go back and forth. They have to drive to work every day. And like, once that rolls out, you saw the Hertz announcement, right? 100,000 cars they just ordered.
You didn't see that? No, Tesla just signed a deal with Hertz to give them to their Hertz is buying 100,000 cars from Tesla. That Model S.
Guacamole.
Yeah, no discount or anything. And their stock price was nuts.
Yeah. Oh, is that why it's 950 now?
Yeah.
980.
Well, Hertz said that they're gonna get involved and put in more chargers as well.
Good.
So
good. They need that.
A lot of places are doing that. Yeah, we need that. And anyway, all that to say, like, once that starts, really progressing, because they haven't started rolling cars off the line. Once they do that in the next month or two, game over. Game over for our traffic. Everybody east, everybody on 130 thinking they're going to go 85. By the way, our speed limits are 85.
Yeah, what are your speed limits?
Nice.
Miss
65.
Oh my gosh, I would be going the speed limit in Austin. I should move just for that.
Typically
around 70.
Okay. It's about
like
average.
if you're on the interstate, state highways are typically 55, 65. You know.
Pass.
No.
You know, the finishing flying elbow off the top rope for Austin, though, is the trajectory of our growth. I'm going to be honest. Like,
yeah.
If I were to choose one versus another, I think Nashville's a great city. I think it's cool. I think it's got a hip vibe. I think I'd kind of agree with you. If you're looking for like maybe less of a small town feel, but still feels like a small town, probably Nashville over Austin. But I mean, I live here and we're bullish on it, but I'm just bullish on thinking that I know Austin's going to be the boom town of the United States for the next few decades.
He's
I'm
right.
just pumped to see that. So that's the reason I would choose if I was neutral in this situation, one versus the other. But I think both are incredible cities.
I 100% agree. I mean,
Rachel goes home and she's like, moving here, right? She's going to move here.
I mean, I'll you
I'm
know,
gonna
it's come
retire
up in my
there
mind, you know, would I ever move to a certain area? I'm like, Texas, I think I'd be okay with that. My mom used to live in Texas, and she said, I'll never move back because the mosquitoes bite your feet when you wear sandals.
That's because she was in Houston again.
No,
You're right. I think she was.
See, because in Austin, we have so many bats. There are very few mosquitoes.
Bats,
Like,
Ian, you wear
tell me
pants,
that.
man. The other
I
day
wear
we were
pants.
together and you wore pants everywhere we went. Look,
I
here's the deal.
know. Have you seen the bugs here? I do not want anything crawling up my legs, man.
Here's the deal. When I went to Hayes City store down in Kyle, my favorite place, best margaritas, best like side of the road food you can get, best place. The mosquitoes Saturday night were stupid. They were like literally walking around giving people at each table a bug spray to help with the mosquitoes. It was so bad. I've never been eaten so bad by mosquitoes. So yeah, Oh, the other thing we have, here's the finishing.
Where was that you said?
A Hayes City store.
In Kyle?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Kyle. Like that's so far south. It doesn't. Yeah, that's basically North San Antonio, like you would say.
Live closer to Austin, get bit by a bat or a mosquito. One of those two is going to happen. But here's the deal. In Austin, we have scorpions like crazy. They're everywhere. Everywhere. You wake up, they're on your toothbrush. You go to the shower, they're in your shower. I'm just kidding, people. They're not that bad. But we have scorpions. Do you have scorpions?
And tarantulas.
No. Oh my gosh. I'm probably not going to move to Austin now. I don't like scorpions. I guess I've never seen one, but I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
I fortunately have never been stung by a scorpion, but I see them. Now that we put the pool in, I see them dead in my pool at least once a day. And we spray and yeah, it's all right. I don't miss them. But Rachel, it's been an hour. We can continue to talk Nashville if people want to talk Nashville, or we can transition into Austin. You tell us in the comments. And, and Rachel,
what questions?
Let's ask some Rachel questions other than being no partisan. No pants.
No pants.
Okay.
No pants.
You don't know I'm not wearing pants.
No pants, Ian.
No pants, Ian.
Scars on my feet each. Yeah, see, telling you that's crazy. So let's talk about your YouTube channel for a second. So you have a YouTube channel. You talk about Nashville. What's your favorite video on here? If somebody was going to come, if anybody from my channel was going to come over and just write all the fun comments in the world on one of your videos, i.e. Master Jedi, which video would you want it to be?
I mean,
choosing where to live in Tennessee.
That's a good one as for like a newer one. Yeah, everybody's seen the pros and cons of Tennessee, but that's an older video. So I think choosing where to live in Tennessee is a good one to look at, or thinking of moving to Tennessee in 2021.
Living in Tennessee, pros and cons, 150,000 views. Good for you. This one right here, the pros and cons of Murfreesboro. Mm-hmm. How do you come up with a face like that for your thumbnail?
Sometimes I'll be like, okay, I got to think of something crazy, and I'll be like, I don't know, just making weird faces. A lot of times I like to just smile. You know, that's just being me.
I love that. You got some good thumbnails. Look at you go. I love it. I filmed a vlog the other day. Tell me in the comments if you actually want to see a vlog from me, because I think it's going to be the worst thing I've ever filmed. But I actually sat. I was like, "Here's how I do my stupid thumbnails," and it's me like, doing dumb thumbnails like that. Oh my God, it's stupid. Oh, it was the worst day ever trying to film myself for 15 hours of working. I've tried to film myself all day. It was the worst day of my life. I was like, this is terrible. My neighbor at Leander pulled up at Whataburger riding her horse.
Yeah, that I've seen some weird stuff like that. I'm thinking, well, weird to me.
Rhymes with pizza.
Yep.
I think
So
we're
do you
getting
have
Whataburger in Tennessee,
You don't have
in the
Whataburger
Nashville
in Tennessee
area.
at all?
What's that?
You don't have Whataburger there?
They're coming to Tennessee, to the Nashville
Oh.
area, is what it's been in the news. So they should be here by now.
You have Canes though, right?
We have what?
Canes,
Raising
Cane's?
Cane's.
Raising
chicken.
Canes, chicken tenders. If
I
you
don't
have to
believe
think,
I've
then you
ever
haven't had
seen
it.
one. No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Oof, girl.
Tennessee has KFC though.
You can just pour that cane sauce and drink it.
What's
So
what's
good.
what's the good burger place of choice in Nashville or in Tennessee? Is it In-N-Out?
Yeah.
We don't have In-N-Out. No,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
In-N-Out's the best. So
Yeah.
don't lie.
I don't know that there's really a chain that's specifically known just for burgers. Yeah, it's more barbecue and hot chicken here.
Burger King.
Patty B's,
Is it?
that's right.
Do you have an HEB?
No.
And we all know the
What's that?
answer to that. It's no.
No.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of HEB?
No.
Herbert Edward Butts is the name. Anyway, so one of the cool, like in Texas, we have a place called HEB. The best place to get everything. It's just great. I love HEB. Anybody else love
Nice.
HEB? Oh, here we go. Great question. In-N-Out wins, Mark. We already know the answer to that, but thanks for asking it.
Oh man, somebody up above asked, is Tennessee a viable option for an investment opportunity?
There you go.
Yeah,
It's a good one.
And I 100% totally it is. You see a lot of investors are in the Nashville area specifically because of the projected job growth is so much higher than the national average. So cities like where I'm at in Murfreesboro, Mount Juliet, just kind of on the outskirts of Nashville, investors are there heavy looking for rental properties. It's hard to even find a rental right now, in terms of the low inventory, but the rental market is low as well. So investors, come on out.
Do your builders exclude investors? So if you have a new build,
Some do, or some will have a different or a different thing. Like one recently said, like on each row, only one investor per row. So you do need to check with new builds if you're going to have an investor. But then I've heard of some new construction communities where an investor came in and bought out the whole neighborhood and is just going to turn it into a neighborhood of rentals.
yeah.
The real OG, thanks for joining, man. Coming in with the good questions.
Good question.
Not the questions like Ruby's was a movie for but coming in with good questions, man. Thank you very much. So let me ask you this. So if somebody was going to buy an investment property in Nashville, what would they expect to pay? A, B, what would the rent value or rental value of that look like? Cash flow. Yeah, well, not cash flow, but just if I'm buying a $400,000 house, what should I project really to rent? And I know it's kind of hard to tell because everything's different, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I usually tell people rule of thumb is about $1 a square foot to $1.10, depending on, what you look like.
I was going to say the exact same thing about $1 a square foot.
Okay, so if you
pretty
buy
good
a house
in this area. Yeah,
$500,000, that's 2,000 square feet. You're looking about $2,000 rent.
Yes, and depending if it's newer, you might be able to get a little bit more, and depending on the area, you might be able to get a little bit more. But that's what I would expect for it to go here in the Murfreesboro area for sure.
Interesting. I might have to give you a call. I'm going to go buy a house in Nashville because that actually makes sense because I find right now I'm trying to buy more investment properties in Austin. The problem we run into is if I buy a $500,000 house as a rental, I might get $25,000 to almost $3,000 a month on it. The challenge is that the taxes are still $10,000 to $11,000 a year. And I know next year our lovely mayor is going to want more money from me. So
Right.
they're going to say, hey, let's give you some more tax dollars to the local economy. We're going to talk about some of the fun stuff that we're funding this year here in a minute. But I think that makes more sense because you're paying a hell of a lot less in taxes. You're talking about $2,000, maybe $3,000 in taxes a year versus 9, 10, 11. It's a lot more money in your pocket.
I agree. And, you know, taxes are an interesting thing. You said earlier that, you know, without this retirement income tax, where's Tennessee getting all their tax revenue? So it is possible, you know, with this huge influx of people that we've seen over the past few, really, I would say decade into Tennessee, that possibly that might change. I don't know. I can't foresee the future, but with so many people moving here, things might start to have to change just because with more people, you need to kind of expand your budget, right? So.
Yeah. So so do you think, you know, in the future, if you were forecasting, you had the magic ball, do you think property taxes are going to go up pretty high in Nashville? Is that something you're worried about now or in the future?
Nashville just had a property tax hike, so I don't think that it would happen anytime soon. I hope. I think it'll probably be just gradually over time. I would expect it.
Question: you said it was capped at 25%. Is that only your homestead?
You know, I'm not as familiar with the homestead, I'll be honest with you, but it's the 25% of the assessed value.
Yeah.
So,
but is it like the house that you live in? Only that one? Because if it's an investment property and that's, you know, that could be bad.
So so let me explain that real quick. So in Austin, if you buy a property and you live in it, you can homestead and it caps how much they can raise your taxes. But if you buy a second home as an investment, or you just buy an investment home, there's no cap. You pretty much have to go into the appraisal's office with like a night charmer, a sword, and say, bring them down. And they go, no, and they shoot you the laser beam. Like it's crazy. I'm on a good one tonight, folks. And this is not me drinking either.
I was going to say, we need to bring back Frank the Tank version of Jeremy with some
we need to bring back bourbon Jeremy. So that's what happens in Texas, right? So you can't homestead your second property. So is there a cap if you own it just as an investment? Is there a cap on that? Is what Ian's asking.
That is actually a really good question, and one that I don't actually have the knowledge to speak on, but I'm going to find out about that. So I would probably lean toward no, just because I feel like I would have heard people complain about it. But I'm
working.
But I'll check on that.
So do you have any neighborhoods out there that me, Kevin, and Ian, and maybe Master Jedi, if we let him, can just come buy up the whole neighborhood?
Oh gosh, man, no, not the whole neighborhood.
Then we'll set the taxes to zero. Let's just say we're not paying taxes. It's our neighborhood. It's Mulletville, damn it. And
you'll have to build one.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Mulletville sounds too corny, so I need to come up with something more sophisticated.
Well, and if you ever cut your hair, you're typecast.
Yeah. Hey, you don't act like I haven't woke up in the morning and looked at those clippers and said, today is the day.
Yeah.
Because this thing is out of control.
I know where y'all would live in Tennessee. There's a town outside of where I used to live called Allgood. I'm from Allgood because it's all good.
It's all good, baby. I'll do that.
They got a Walmart.
Is that like an HEB?
I've heard of that place.
It's probably not even a super Walmart.
Dan's Hamburgers is phenomenal. Greasy as all get up.
Greasiest burger I've had in a long time.
You have to run to the car or it'll fall out of the bag.
I was just saying, you have to run to the car. It's going to be in your shorts. No. Dan, what about Franz, Viviana? Franz or Dan's? That's the question right there. Well, cool. Any other great advice that you might have for the channel?
Raphael. Yeah, I would just say I'm an open book. If you got a question, just hit me up, email, text, however it is. Just I got my info out there on the internet.
So I recommend that you go over, subscribe to her channel, check her out, and just drop a ton of comments on all of her videos to help out her algorithms.
Thank you.
Then, and then like everything. Right. Hey, RealMigos say hi. Do that as many times, please, as you want on her channel. It'll be awesome.
RealMigos say hi.
RealMigos say hi. Awesome. All right, Miss Raquel Rachel. We really appreciate you joining us. We're going to bump you out of here, and then we are going to go talk about some Austin shizzle.
All right. Well, it's been great talking with y'all, and I'm inspired. I can't wait to come visit Austin, come see you guys.
Nice. Thanks, Rachel. Appreciate it.
Kevin's got room for you.
Yeah. Come on down.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Gentlemen. Austin. What's going on in Austin?
Man,
I got it.
Go.
Kevin, you go first. No,
I want to hear. I'm like fangirling over this new Violet Crown Amphitheater project that's going on.
The south. I'm sorry, east.
No, Southwest Austin. It's actually a lot closer. They said it was in BK, but it's actually way close to Oak Hill. It's just where Southwest Parkway spits out at 71. And they said
do you have that on what's it called?
ABJ. Yeah. They said it's going to be done in 2023 or 2024. I mean, it's right 2023.
What's the excitement about it?
It's
like, other than it's just another venue. Like,
it's a 20,000 seat venue.
20,000 seats.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is not like this is like a big deal. Like they're going to try to compete with Red Rocks,
Got it.
Crowd.
Yeah, that's huge.
And they're doing a bunch of other stuff. They're doing a 96 bay driving range, a distillery and tasting room, apartments, and it's real super modern. It looks like so awesome. So awesome. I'm very excited about this development.
And I asked that because they're putting little venues all over the place, like all of these little pop-up neighborhoods. Like they're doing one in Round Rock right now. They're doing one in Pflugerville. They're doing one at
look at all beautiful untouched land right there that we could develop.
Yeah,
pretty much all that's owned by one person too. You know that?
Is it?
Yeah, a lot of it's owned. Like,
I wonder if they'll sell me 10 acres so I can hunt.
I highly
doubt. They won't.
No. If I promise not to,
or bust.
Damn. So 475 units spread across 2 towers, standing 29 and 20 stories. Damn.
This is the kind of stuff that gets me like super pumped up. Like the stuff that's coming into Austin is not the same stuff that you've seen the last couple of years. We are going to see cutting edge, forward thinking, awesome stuff for the next couple of decades. I mean, if that doesn't get you like kind of pumped up, then I don't know what else will.
And this is all going to have views of downtown then, right?
Yeah, from there I would say probably.
From there it would, because there's downtown.
I mean, it would be distant, but you'll be able to see it.
Maybe I should buy the old Austin Community College building down here. The 20-story building down there.
Is that thing for sale? It should be. They don't even do anything there, do they?
They don't use it anymore.
Jeez.
I should buy it and turn it into an apartment complex.
Don't our taxpayer dollars go to that thing still?
Yes, a lot. Remember that, right?
Wow, man, that's ridiculous.
I can't remember what it was, like 7 or 11% of all property taxes paid.
Look, they're going to do tacos, cookies, and facials and more.
Heck
Mueller. I love
I was just there Saturday at Sunday at the farmers market. That place they're doing some things right.
Yeah, it's cool
really
feel
are.
there, isn't it?
Veracruz tacos.
Love that.
Oh man,
that's one of my.
What's your rating? If you 1 through 10, what do you give Veracruz?
Well, nothing's perfect, so I'm going to give it a 9.5.
I'm not so generous because I don't think anything can even. It leaves no room for error, so I'm going to say 8.
8?
Yeah.
I would say. Well, I like their sauces. I would give Veracruz a 7.6. I think it's
ouch, man. Really? A 6? Okay, you're having the wrong
7.6.
7.6.
Okay, you're still eating the wrong thing. What are you eating there?
Bro, I've had everything there. I stopped. So Kevin caught me over at Cosmic because I'm cheating on Veracruz and radio, and I'm going over to Cosmic now.
Good. Well, and the thing about something like Veracruz is it's actually unfortunately, it's different if you go to the restaurants versus the truck on 4th, 6th. Caesar, wherever it is.
Caesar. I think I'm going to eat over there tonight. I'm starving. I'm about to pass out actually because
You're gonna eat over at Veracruz, or where are you going?
No, I think I'm gonna go. I'm like in love with East 6th Street right now, like the entire street. I just absolutely.
Dude,
there are a lot of projects over there.
Is it Lazarus that's over there? That coffee place? That place has dope tacos.
No, I haven't
Lazarus
been there yet.
Brewing. Yeah, the coffee's okay. I wouldn't go gaga over it, but their tacos there are fantastic. More that like street style taco, which I love.
There's like, I want to go to Suerte. I want to go to El Bruto. I want to go to Dropkick. There's just so many places
place over there, right?
A fish place.
Yeah, I had a guy who was on my son's baseball team that he had some like really like good like fish place over there, seafood place. I forget what it is.
Let me see if I can remind myself.
SoCal tacos are 10 times better. He's right. All tacos are at a
all
7.
Texas tacos cap.
It's true. I mean, Master Jedi at least said something smart tonight. Although he did call me a Circle C jerk. Circle jerk C. Circle. I think he did that wrong.
Hawaiian barbecue. Oh my gosh. When we were in Hawaii.
Wait. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say when we were in Hawaii this year, the food there was so incredible, and I had no idea. Like, the little ices or whatever that they have, but everything, all the food was just so darn good.
They just opened that new tiki bar on Lamar.
Tiki bar on Lamar, that rhymes.
Yeah. It's what is the name of that thing behind Ramen Tatsuya? The same guy that owns the place.
The same guy that owns Ramen Tatsuya, or behind?
Yeah, it's the same guy that owned it, and I thought it was behind it. It's what is the name of that place? It's a tiki bar themed place.
I need to go there tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, and if you like Hawaiian barbecue,
I do.
Chicken. So there's the Hawaiian Bros, right? Have you had that yet?
I have not.
Hawaiian Bros is like, there's a restaurant down in Kyle, and by restaurant I mean like it's like a fast food type restaurant.
Yeah.
But I've been ordering through that Ghost Kitchen on North Lamar. And it is such a delicious, like the huli chicken, which is like chicken breast teriyaki with white rice and fresh pineapple. Oh my gosh, that sounds so good.
On the website cookingclassy.com, they say,
Hey Google, cancel.
What did I do?
I don't know what you said, but it's talking about chicken and teriyaki sauce.
Was that ordering Mickey ears for you again?
Mm-hmm.
So what's the name of tiki bar?
Listening.
So I want to get your thoughts on this. So the other day, that one guy who lived in Austin, who's now leaving Austin for Dallas, said a lot of interesting, not very nice things about Austin. And he's like, "Oh, everybody keeps saying that Austin's the new Silicon Valley or Silicon Hills." And GT, the real OG, welcome back again, wrote this: "Silicon Hills is here, folks." How do you feel about that?
True.
I mean, I don't know. I don't remember that guy's exact quote because I was so annoyed with his entire video to begin with. Actually, I was cheering for him to leave. But Silicon Hills, I mean, are we really are we really the next Silicon Valley? Because his whole contention was that, what was it? The VC money's not here, right? We're like 7th on VC money.
Not today, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do we really need it? Let me ask this. Is it really necessary for us to be like a new version of that? Or can we not just be the first version of this?
I like the way you said that. No, that makes a lot of sense to me. I think that's the thing too. People need to realize we're Texas. We're not California. So yeah, our twist on it's going to be definitely different. We don't have to be like California.
No,
God, please don't be like California.
No, I don't want it to be when people are like, "Oh, it's the new Silicon Hills." I think is a good name for it just because we're tech centered. But I don't see it being like I don't know that it's going to be like the startup vibe community. Did I miss something?
Yeah, I didn't really read Master Jedi's comment. There it is for
you. The name of that place is Tiki Tatsuya.
Tiki Tatsuya. It makes sense.
Yeah, on South Lamar.
On it. I was also adding L&L as the comments were sharing. I've not been to either one of those in San Antonio or Dallas, and you're right, they do need that here.
If you do have VC money and you're watching this video, please hit me up and we'll find a great use for that cash.
Yeah. Kevin's got a lot of Hermes bags that he wants to buy.
Hermes.
They're opening a new Gucci store in Domain.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, a standalone store. They pulled out in Neiman Marcus and doing their own store.
Oh, I think I saw that. It's actually right across from Tesla, isn't it?
It's across. It's next to Tiffany, across from Louis Vuitton.
Yep.
I was just there today. Went to Ben Bridge.
Ooh, baller, big baller, Ben Bridge.
Did you know I walked into Ben Bridge today, and they had F1 here, which is sponsored by Rolex. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go look at all the Rolexes just to look at stuff, right? Dude, not one Rolex. The biggest display out of every display was the Rolex display. Mm-hmm. Not one Rolex in the entire shelf. And I'm asked the lady, like, what the heck's up? Why no Rolexes? And she's like, oh, there's a Rolex shortage. You can't buy a Rolex anywhere.
Imagine that.
Are you serious? I know this client that I had who's quite well was like, yeah, I used to buy all of these watches for like 50, 60 grand. And now they're all 70, 80 grand. And my watch guy can't even get these watches. I'm like, shoot, I might as well just buy every watch in the store and then just hold them for the secondary market. Maybe I'll make some money. But
I was looking at some secondary market stuff, and there's some, because I've told one of my, what is that thing called? Estate sale folks. I said, like, if you come across Rolexes or sneakers, let me know.
Or sneakers, like SB Dunks or what?
No, like Jordans.
What's
like
the sneaker
Jordans
these days?
Jordans and Dunks, yeah. But if somebody has an old pair of J's, like Jordan 1s that are early vintage, those things are worth so much money.
Oh man,
here you go.
You got me fiending for some Tiki Tatsuya. I'm adding it to my list.
Are you looking at the menu now?
I am.
I am too.
I haven't eaten dinner because last time I got kicked off the stream.
I'm looking at it.
We got kicked off the stream on one video. Like, I took you off for like 3 minutes so you could eat, and then it was all about the big Mickey Mouse moving here. So when that video blew up, then I almost got threatened with a lawsuit because people got mad that info was getting out. You weren't on there, so look, you probably saved yourself, man, by eating that time.
Bro, listen to this: butter mochi, coconut cream, pineapple jam, macadamia nuts, and mint. Oh. That sounds so good.
So everybody that's watching right now, I just want you to know, when we end the stream, like 8:30 rolls around, 9 o'clock rolls around, we end the stream. This is the crap that happens. Like, you're seeing literally the behind the scenes. Like, we'll sit here and bullshit.
Are we still streaming?
Yeah, we're still streaming. Did you?
No, I knew that. I thought it ended.
But this is like literally the behind the scenes, what happens every time. And they're like, oh shit, it's 9:30. Let's get off the stream. Well, all right, see you guys later. Yeah. So you are literally getting it behind the scenes of what happens on this live stream.
We have a good time.
What is GT, the real OG? What the heck is YSL?
Yves Saint Laurent.
I think he was trying to say ASL.
No, it's YSL. It's Yves Saint Laurent.
Oh,
I don't even know what that means.
Saint Laurent.
I'm not that cool.
Designer Saint Laurent. You know.
No clue.
No, you don't have no idea.
I'm out too.
I am not an OG, man.
I am so disappointed right now. You have no idea.
In who? Hold on.
Here we go.
In yourself? Like, who are you disappointed in?
YSL is like, it's not like they're new. They've been around for like 40 years.
Okay, is this like Dragon Ball? Like, it's new to us? What do you mean 40 years?
No, they've been around and popular for 40 years. Are you familiar with the Chelsea boot? You know what a Chelsea boot is? The style.
Let me say no.
Oh, never mind. I'm not even gonna go there. Let's talk about food.
Listen, man, I wear pants every day, and
the Chelsea boot exists because of them. Now everybody has a version of a Chelsea boot, but YSL definitely created that style.
Man, this is gonna screw up my Google search history.
Yeah.
No, you'll get better targeted ads now.
Yeah.
Yeah, every once in
a while. You mean okay, that's really funny.
Do you ever once in a while try to throw your FBI agent off the track?
The NSA agent that's watching you.
Yeah, you ever be like, I'm going to search like depends or something like that. Yeah, or like tampons or something
That's
like
what
that.
Tor
Like,
browsers
this
are
guy's
for,
really
man.
confusing.
I think you'd have to
Motorcycles and
order. I would think you'd have to order tampons though. That's where once they see that go in your cart,
no.
then you know. Yeah.
No.
No,
way, man.
if your phone's open right now, I just said tampons, so now your next Instagram ad is going to be
Yeah,
tampons.
you're absolutely gonna
Oh,
see it just from your voice.
Remember, hey, Ian, remember that when we were in Dallas at
Yes.
Tom Ferry, I talked about my on shoes, and literally 13 minutes later, one of the girls that was in the car with us goes, "Oh my gosh, I'm getting all these ads for on my freaking Instagram." And she didn't search it, did anything. I just said in the car, my on shoes, to create on cloud shoes, because I'm old. I don't wear Nikes.
That's because you like Joe Rogan. That's why.
No, we're here. No, we're here today because of Joe Rogan. We're gonna beat him in the numbers. Joe Rogan, #1 podcast. REALMigos, that's what's up. Just kidding,
Elon,
Joe
hit
Rogan.
us
We
up.
love you. Let us on. Come on our channel, please. We love you.
but he has shoes though. Like,
Yeah,
we need to brand some shoes.
here we
Do
go.
that.
So Mark said KB home, Berry Spring at
Berry
Georgetown is under
Springs.
condo regime. Need some of
Oh.
y'all's opinionations, but they are building single family home. So if I had somebody, we're doing a contract review today, and what's happening with these builders in order to build faster, to pass through hoops faster, and to build homes closer together, they put them on a condo regime. You drive through and it looks like a regular neighborhood, right? It's just the homes are a little bit closer together than they would be if you're in a standard neighborhood. So they're condoized, but they're regular homes.
Well,
but
They're still fee simple ownership.
It's still fee simple ownership, but you just don't get a survey with it.
Yeah.
The real world implication is that you're going to have almost no yard in most of those cases.
True.
Right. So if you don't need that, then that's fine.
But they make fantastic rentals.
Price seems pretty good.
Yes. Excellent. And you still, and when I say no yard, I mean, it's just smaller, much, much smaller yard.
You'll end up being in the low fours, I think, for a really decent sized house with good finishes.
And they can
What's
price
the
them
tax
way
rate?
more competitively.
The tax rate is in your face. I don't know. It doesn't say. It does not say.
It's a little of both.
Both?
Like one was a direct correlation to
Yeah, do they have to be exclusive things?
Yeah, they're exclusive. And I
Like
worked
you get
out
one or
twice
the
last
other.
season. Man, I've been doing that Orange Theory Hell Week this week. I didn't really realize it was Hell Week. I just was like, oh, I'm finally going back to the gym. Oh my God. It's great.
Yeah, but that's why because
that.
you're crushing your fitness right now, brother.
Bro, I feel so much better.
Yeah.
And I'm not drinking, so that's helpful.
Yeah.
Although I did have something in my Yeti cup, sparkly water.
Oh, that's good.
Sparkly water.
Sparkling Topo Chico. Did you see Sonic has hard seltzer now?
Stop it.
I'm not joking, bro.
That's
Not at the
funny.
restaurant.
Here's
It's
the
at
problem with Sonic. First off, everything that I have from there is like a low grade version of what it should be. Like even their hot dogs aren't very good.
Correct.
It's
Correct.
so bad. I remember thinking I pulled through for like this gourmet shake, and it was it was seriously the nastiest milkshake I had ever had.
Yeah.
So frustrating.
The next time I'm just gonna be like, hey, get a cheeseburger and fries, and be like, can you just throw that in the blender too? Because it looks the same to me.
It's just
their boneless wings are really good though. Their boneless wings are really good.
Boneless
Wings. Yeah.
Who eats
AKA
boneless wings? Those aren't
AKA
real
chicken
wings.
nuggets.
Yeah. There you go.
AKA chicken nuggets. Speaking of, I gotta get out of here, guys. I'm starving. I'm about
You
to
ain't
pass
going
out.
nowhere. I have one thing to say before you go.
What?
I looked up a stat and everything. I was curious how many houses have been on the market more than a month. 568.
Oh.
Out of on the market right now is
4,000.
4,100 active listings.
Well, this is Austin proper. I'm not going outside of Austin in this one.
Well, how many homes are on the market in Austin?
Let's put it up.
Blue crab, Rangoon cheese.
Half of them over a month.
Oh yeah. But again, that's Okay. Yeah, I don't disagree.
I know there's new builds in there. There's all sorts of variables. I just thought that was such an interesting stat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is interesting.
Look, but here's the deal. In the last 2 days, I've shown 6 homes. Every single one was going into multiple offers. One, I did that stupid vlog thing yesterday, which God, it was the worst thing ever. I went to this property in San Marcos. There was literally 15 cars in line to see a $325,000 property.
Yeah, but that's driven by price.
Hold on. I just showed in Pflugerville and Blackhawk a $665,000 listing today on the golf course. Okay, house, nothing super spectacular about it. Multiple offers. They just asked me like, "Hey, are you guys going to give my client put an offer in it? Are you going to give appraisal waiver?" So we're still seeing appraisal waivers. Another property I saw, we were going to go see it, now in multiple offers.
Mm-hmm.
So I have 2 other properties. So out of 6 properties we saw, 4 are in multiple offer, and 2 of them just weren't worth even writing an offer on. Yeah. So I don't see this market slowing down like people say it's slowing down.
No.
And I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it with my eyes, and then you're hearing people tell us that it's crashing, that the market's coming down. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I can't. I'm seeing it with my eyes. I've had more people reach out to me in the last literally 2 weeks than I did the last 2 months.
Correct. I feel the same way.
All these investors now seeing the prices come back down to 4 to 525 median are jumping back in. You overlook on the east side, Ian's Point, a home sitting on the market for 500 homes sitting in the market for over a month. All my investors are like, hey, what can we offer on these to get the prices on them? Like, what can we get? So they're going to go multiple offers. They're going to go multiple offers on decent homes, not great homes, but would have good cash flow.
Well, that's what we talked. Remember, we talked about that last week is the rubber band snap. Like the snap went up and then it went down below median. Now is theoretically the absolute best time for you to buy for the foreseeable future, right? Because it's going to snap back up again to median and then steadily climb next year. So from now to the end of the year, if you're thinking about it, even investment properties, I think it would be a good time to at least seriously look and evaluate those options.
I mean, here's the deal. So I reached out. On last week's video, I had questions about, and I brought up questions about the reporting the numbers. I reached out to the marketing company that does those graphics and everything for Austin. They would not be able to answer any question I gave them. They're like, well, we get our numbers from Texas A&M. So what are you talking about? They're wrong. So I reached out to the economist who I guess is in charge of all of that. And I invited him on the channel. We'll see if he comes on here. But I have a feeling there's something interesting about those numbers, because I think what's weighing the numbers down is a lot of those new builds that were under contract 4 or 5 months ago, that like all of these KB homes, DR Horton homes, that were those like reasonable prices that a lot of these investors were buying, are now finally closing. And that's bringing down the median price of actually the new build homes, which is actually dragging down the resale home if you're looking at median prices.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then if I pulled the numbers for this month, trying to do like my monthly CMA, and the numbers this month I'm seeing in October are already crushing September's numbers that are closing this month. So that means that next month, November's numbers are going to be even higher, because everything goes under contract in October is going to close as November's numbers are going to be closing in November. So the numbers are going to be, everything's been going under contract. It's going to close in November. So the November numbers are going to be crazy is what I'm saying. So
I didn't mean for it. I hope it didn't sound like there was any kind of crash or anything like that. I never want to speculate that way, but it just, and I did have a few offers that I was going through that were in multiples as well. So I'd say for me, it was about 50-50. But it's interesting to see it. It's interesting to see how many, because I think that there are more today that are on the market. But like you said, I really think it falls in line with some of the houses. Some of the houses are probably just lazy listings, really.
Mm-hmm.
I think people can't get away with lazy listings as easily at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Go through and look at a lot of those listings, Ian. So those
Yeah, I was
500
actually
listings,
doing that.
hold on. I guarantee you, if you could go through and actually spend the time to do it, I guarantee you 40% of those homes are either Opendoor or Zillow or another iBuyer program. Because I had an investor send me all these ones he was interested in.
Mm-hmm.
5 out of 6 were all iBuyer properties that were just quick flips. And that's they're sitting there. And even Kevin on the last stream was like, hey, look, Zillow might be building these homes, but they're shitty quality. Like they're not, nothing's great. Maybe not the words he used, but the quality wasn't that fantastic. You did? Okay, yeah, shitty quality, yeah.
I didn't say shitty.
It's like a new Jeremy. Rakael got me.
Froze.
Oh, I said Rakael got me all fired up for some real estate conversations.
Nice.
Yeah.
Looking at Perry homes in the 650 range are still available. Nothing under 450 is still sold out. We were just speaking about Perry homes before the channel.
Yeah, my clients are loving Perry homes right now.
Mine too.
Perry's pretty incredible. Pretty incredible.
All right, I'm going to Revelry.
Let's go.
I'm gonna go eat.
Yeah.
Revelry
E6. I'll be
chicken
there.
Tatsuya.
Peace.
See you guys.